Welcome, DeWolf digital marketing students. It's me, Mr. Cheney, with another brilliant tutorial. This one is a part 2. Part 1 is already there on Google Portfolio. Shows you the 4 pages, shows you how to get your certifications on, because that was kind of the easiest part to do. This, we're going to walk through the different pages that were not addressed. So you've got your home page, your About Me page, and your project showcase page. I'll show you an example of what things could look like, should look like, elements that should be there, and so forth. So on the Google Classroom assignment, navigate over to there, and it is number 007 under the mock interview prep. So we're going to go in there. You've got all the directions that you need, but then we've got this handy thing right here that shows you what needs to be on there. So this is an example of what each page could look like. So on this first part of the slide, you've got all 4 pages showing. And if you want to see just one, so here's like the home page. So you've got a picture, and you've just got like a paragraph about you, and then a page that says About Me. Again, we have a different paragraph about you. We've got our resume on it somewhere, and we've got our 3 sections that are achievements, strengths, and goals. So you'll need to recreate those, or actually, for some of you, they're over on this home page. You can copy paste them over to this page. You don't want them on the home page, you want them on the About Me page. Third page is Project Showcase. This is where you show off. This is where you're going to go back to older assignments, and I'm going to show you how to do that in Google Drive. And you're going to showcase the stuff that you've done in this class, or maybe even other classes that you would showcase maybe in a job interview or something like that. And then lastly, the one that most of us have already kind of figured out is the certification page. One section that we may not have done yet is the skills sections. You need to add that part, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so let's go to the sample page that I've got going right here for James Cheney. And so we've got home page, About Me page, project showcase, and certifications and skills. I've got all 4 there. So on the home page, I've got my picture, I've got kind of a description of what's going on. I took away those 3 sections from the home page already and put them over at the About Me section. And I've got my contact information in this footer. So if you wanted to change that information, you would click Edit Footer, but you want your email address, your phone number, your city, state, and then for me, I've got LinkedIn. You guys don't have LinkedIn, so you don't have to include that. Okay, so that's what should be on the home page. Now, let's say you wanted to change this header picture instead of this generic computer with coffee and notepad and whatever. You can go over here and you can change it up. So you can go create a picture or find a picture. If you were to do select, you could actually choose from some of the pictures that they have. So they have a gallery full of just different pictures you could do. Or you could create one in Canva like I did on one of my other pages. Which one was it? Yeah, so I created this in Canva in AI to show my certifications and skills. So it's a combination of Career Safe and Verify and Amago and all that good stuff. Right, so that's another change that you could be making on these pages. Now, second page, About Me. On the Google Classroom assignment, let's go back to that. On the About Me section right here, this is the main part that most people are missing that they need to work on. So you need to add achievements, strengths, and goals. Okay, so on the page, down below I've got those. So I chose this picture for achievements, this one for strengths, this one for goals. So you want to have some sort of graphic, and then just list the achievements, strengths, and goals. 2 or 3 is fine. You don't need to have a bunch, but that'll do the job. And then I went a little overboard in the About Me section, but I've got a history of my past work experience before teaching, my teaching experience, the schools that I've been at, the mascots of all the schools I've been at, and so forth, some AI work that I did for myself. So that's the About Me page. Made it look really nice. Project Showcase. Okay, so here's all the projects that you want to show off that you've done. And again, it doesn't have to be just this class. Now, if it's something that you turned into a Google Classroom assignment, here's what's cool. You can go over to Google Drive, and in your Google Drive, you have this folder here called Classroom. If you double click that, you're going to see all the classes that you've been in for Google Classroom. So you can find last semesters. If you had me like last year and you did a project that you want to show off, that's cool too. Let's say you were in this class in the fall, so let's say fall number 2 class. You can find some of the assignments that you did. How would I add that to my showcase? So I can go back over here and I could insert from my Google Drive and I can go find that. So here's my classroom folder that I just showed you, and I can find the class that I was talking about before right there. And it's going to show me all the stuff that I could add into my page. So let's say I wanted to show off this patterns assignment that we did for Pixar in a Box. So now there is my slide deck that I did, and people can go through and see what I did for that assignment. So that's the project showcase page. You want to put as many things on there that you did at this school or maybe even previous schools, stuff that you can show off to someone that would be good for an interview process. Okay, so far we've talked about the home page, we've talked about the About Me page, we've talked about the project showcase page, and then certifications page. Like I said, most of us have this done. Maybe you want to change out your header like I did. You want to list all your certificates. And then the last thing we need to put in here is the skills section, because when we go back here, we have all certifications right here, but we also have a section where we want to put our 3 hard skills and our 3 soft skills that we put on our resume. So how can we do that? A couple ways. We can go over to insert and we could do just a simple text box, and we can insert stuff into just this text box, or I could do one of these content blocks. So if I wanted a picture and text, I could add that in there. So if you wanted to put like a picture of something for skills, and then you could put all your skills into this box. So let's say I wanted to put communication, teamwork, and listening, active listening for my 3 soft skills, and then maybe I want to put these into bullet points, and then maybe I want to change the actual font itself, and then I can increase the font if I want. So those are ways of getting those skills in there. So I've got the soft skills there, and then I can add another box for hard skills if I wanted to by doing a text box like this, and I can drag it up. So that, and then I can make my hard skills in there and do another picture. So once you have all those elements on all 4 pages, then you're going to be good to go. So we've already done the publish button. So I'm going to republish now since I made some changes. And to put this into the Google Classroom assignment, which most of us have already done, but in case you haven't, you're going to click the link over here, go to copy link. You're going to go to the assignment on Google Classroom, and you're going to link it in. Not necessarily turn it in if you're not done, but just make sure that the link is there so that I can see it. So we're going to go over to Google Site Portfolio, and I'm going to attach it to the assignment like this. And that way I can see the link and go in and check out the progress. And that's it. That's part 2 of the professional portfolio Google site that we've been working on. Check out part 1 to get you started on the setup. This one that I just made, part 2, kind of goes into the details of the rest of those pages. And of course, in class, I will be walking around and helping people out. I'll see you back in class.